It's been a while. So pretty much I'm in the middle of my HSC right now, which is like the university entrance exams for people in my state. As you can see behind me, I don't know if you can see, I have a bunch of books and stuff on my bed because I'm currently, in the middle of my exams. That's why I haven't really been focusing on YouTube for the past like year and a half. But now I'm ready to get back into it, and I have some tips for anyone who's planning on going on exchange. And also I kind of explain like how I went and what I did and things like that. So yeah, let's get into it. Hi, this is me editing the video. I just realized that I look like I have brown grass growing out of the top of my head. So have fun looking at that for the entire video. Okay, so the number one tip is the most important tip in my opinion, and I really wish someone would have told me this before I went, and it's don't compare your exchange to other people's exchange. Now that's kind of ironic because I'm assuming that you've watched some of my vlogs of my exchange, and it's really hard not to compare your exchange to other people's, but please like keep in mind that exchange isn't all fun and games. Like some people might seem like they had a really good exchange or they're having a really good exchange, but you don't know what they're actually feeling. Like usually there will be bad experiences during exchange. That's just kind of how it is. I know for me, there was a lot of experiences that I just like, I got like kind of upset about, and I'd like look at all these people who are going on exchange at the same time as me. I'd look at their circumstances and I would be like, wow, like why am I so unlucky? You know, like I was really emotional back then, so like I like cried about it. I was like, oh my God. But just keep in mind that you are so lucky that you get to go on exchange, and there are good parts of you. There are going to be good things in your exchange experience. Regardless of whether or not your exchange is good or bad, you are going to have a good experience and you're going to grow from it. So just keep that in mind, that you don't know the full story of other people's exchanges, and it's normal to be upset or have bad experiences on exchange. So the second tip I have is focus on your exchange, which pretty much means that if you're going to a country that speaks another language, try not to use your native language too much. Obviously, like when they're having English classes and stuff like that, then yes, participate, don't be rude about it. But as in like, it's best, in my opinion, it's best to not really contact home that much. I know that's kind of really hard sometimes, and you kind of get FOMO and things like that. But if you are ever feeling homesick, it makes it worse if you contact people back home, and you need time away from them, and you need to learn how to deal with being away from them so that you can really immerse yourself and really get to know the language. Because I know that the reason that I improved my Japanese so much, my Japanese is not the greatest still after exchange, but it really did improve, and I think the reason for that is I, not completely, but I mostly cut ties with my friends and family in Australia. And whenever you feel like homesick or just kind of down, then go talk to your host family, go talk to your friends, go out for a walk. Just be in the community and just try to stop thinking about home too much, because even though you feel like you're missing out on a lot of things back home, you can always do those things at home. You can always go back and see everyone again, but you only have this one experience once in your lifetime, so just like make the most of it. So number 3 kind of ties into the last one, and that is go out as much as possible and take every single opportunity that comes your way. If you are at home and your host mom or something is like, hey, I'm going shopping, do you want to come with me? Don't just be like, nah, I'm all good, I'll stay at home, I'll be lazy. Like, no, like go out and experience something new. I know that like maybe you've already gone shopping multiple times with your host mom, but something new could happen each time, and every single time you go out, you're creating new experiences, new memories, and you're also building the language skills of that country. Trust me, it's way better to go out every single day when you're on exchange. I know that I did that. There was not a single day where I stayed at home all day. There was one day when I was at home with my host sister and we were gonna do nothing, but I was like, hey, let's take our bikes and go for an adventure. So we literally just like cycled around the neighborhood, around the lake, and it was really fun. It's much better to go out as often as possible. Even when you're not really feeling it, you'll feel better afterwards, I assure you. Okay, number 4 can be a bit hard for like shy people, but try to talk as much as possible to people around you. I am a shy person, and honestly, it's really scary going on exchange when you're shy and when your language skills aren't that good, but I really pushed myself and I made myself talk as much as possible and have like conversations with people, and I didn't realize that I was getting better, but I came back to my Japanese school. I came back to my Japanese school after the holidays, and one of my friends was like, wow, like, what happened? Like, your Japanese got so much better. And I totally didn't think it did, but I realized that during the holidays I talked to my host family's relatives, and like I just like kept on chatting with people, and I kept on like playing games and like having conversations and really trying my best to just talk. And doing that really helps. Like, you also learn a lot about the people and about their culture and their way of life and how they think, and on top of that you pick up sort of certain grammar structures and vocabulary, and you like learn as you go, even if it doesn't feel like it. So yeah, that's really important. Number 5, I kind of touched on it before, but just remember that it won't always be a really great experience. I remember the start of my exchange, I did not like it. I actually didn't vibe so much with my host family and I felt like they didn't really like me, and I didn't really like the school that I was going to and everything like that, and I was like, ugh. But like, you need to remember that it's not meant to be good all the time. You can't have like a whole period of time being just good things. There will be bad things that happen. That's just part of life and part of exchange as a result of that. So you need to accept that things aren't going to be super amazing all the time, but also just know that even if you're having a bad experience, that is a good experience. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But like, I would prefer to have more bad experiences on exchange than good experiences, which sounds so weird, but you grow more from bad experiences and you learn how to adapt more, and you just like, it's better in the long run having some bad experiences, not all bad experiences, that would suck, but bad experiences are really good opportunities to learn and to become a better person and understand like how things work and like maybe what you did wrong if it was something that you did. And like, honestly, exchange is kind of a really good opportunity to make mistakes and to really go out there and try new things and just see what works and what doesn't, because honestly, you're not going to be living there for very long, so you might as well just make the most of it. And yeah, just know that it's not always dandy and really good and really great. There are bad parts to it, but that doesn't mean that it's a worthless experience. Okay, so number 6 is that there will be things that are hard for you that you would not expect would be hard. So for example, I always thought that I would be fine with the language barrier, that it would be G. I also thought that I wouldn't get homesick, but I actually did. One of the main things for me was that I found it hard to deal with the fact that like there would be a lot of times when I just wouldn't understand what was going on, and that's not because I'm like a control freak or anything. It's just that it's kind of like you get the feeling of being left out a lot. When people like start to get used to you and like you kind of get really integrated into like school life or whatever, they tend to just be normal and like talk amongst each other. Obviously they'll still include you, but it's kind of, you feel like you're missing out on something, which is something that I didn't know would be an issue. And there were times when I would be sitting at lunch with my friends and I just kind of like, I was really dramatic back then, but like I would just kind of like stare at my food and be like, oh, like I really wish I could understand what was happening right now. But yeah, there's like things that you won't expect that would be hard, but they are hard. and that's okay. That's normal. So yeah. Number 7 is overall just be flexible and just honestly make the most of it. Like, because you will never get another opportunity like this ever again. Just go with the flow. Just do whatever comes your way. Be open-minded. Be accepting of the fact that like bad things will happen. And it's really, really important to cherish it because that time really does go by quite quickly. So just cherish it. Make the most of everything. Make sure you have no regrets. I know that some regrets some people have are they didn't talk to people as much because they were shy, or like they didn't really go out and do things when they were asked to, or they didn't get involved too much in school life because they were out of their comfort zone kind of thing. Like, just like go for it as much as you can. Just try to do everything as much as possible. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but that's just really, really important. Okay, so those were my tips for exchange, and those kind of work for pretty much any exchange, any country that you're going to. I went to Japan, but literally all of them apply to every single other country. So now I'm going to talk about how I went. So pretty much I went with a company called SCCE, which is mainly, I think it's focused in Australia and New Zealand. And they also paired with a company called JAAC. I don't know where they're based in, but they were kind of the company that met me when I got to Japan and took me to my city and things like that. For my exchange, I had to go through an application process. I think there were like 2 or 3 applications that I had to do, and then I had to go to an interview, which honestly, like, it wasn't that bad. Like, they just want to make sure that you're a good person and you'll be a good representative of where you're coming from and the exchange program. I was told that I had to be learning Japanese for a minimum of 2 years, which I had been, so it wasn't a problem. But I knew other people that went that hadn't been learning Japanese for a minimum of 2 years, so like, yeah, I'm sure that with most companies, like, it should be fine. You won't need that much experience, but I would recommend knowing like basic grammar structures and basic vocabulary and phrases and things like that. So pretty much I went in the summer holidays, which in Australia is from like December to January. So I went at the end of November, so I missed a bit of school, but yeah, I didn't have to repeat a year or anything like that. So try and see if there are programs that are in the holidays, and if not, like, if you don't go for a year, it should be okay. In my country, you don't have to repeat a year, I'm pretty sure, unless you go for a year. I brought about $2,000 AUD to exchange, but like for spending money and things like that, but I didn't use it all. Everyone's experiences are different, so I don't really know what to recommend for you. It just depends on whether you're the type of person to spend more money or to conserve more money and things like that. I like to go out and buy food on the weekends and things like that, and I like to buy souvenirs for people and gifts and like clothes and things like that, and even then I didn't use up $2,000. So that should be enough to have a comfortable exchange experience. But even if it wasn't, my mum could send over money if I ever needed with my travel card, because I went to my bank and got like a travel card. Talk to your bank about that one. So I went in winter, and pretty much with winter clothes, I don't have that many here because it's Australia. So I just kind of went to Japan and bought winter clothes over there. It also was really, really helpful with luggage because winter clothes are obviously really heavy. So yeah, I just went to Japan and I bought the clothes over there, and it worked out fine. Obviously, I brought like a warm outfit for when I initially arrived in Japan, but yeah, I know that near me was like a thrift store, so I went and bought cheap winter clothes there and it was completely fine. Okay, so that is the end of this video. I really, really hope it helped and I hope you enjoyed it. And if I missed anything at all, like, comment down below and I'll like pin it or something for other people to see. If you have any other questions, I'm thinking of doing a Q&A video, which will not take ages for me to upload because I'll actually have time to record and edit videos now. So yeah, just leave questions down below if you have any. And also really quickly, it's actually been decided that I will be going to Japan again for a month in January, from January to February. I'll be sort of recording some like travel vlogs while I'm over there, so if you would like to see that, then it would be really awesome if you could subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, stick around for more videos from me. See you guys!